Kia ora. In this video, we're going to be covering a little bit more in depth of information around unit conversion using conversion ratios. So here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be converting, doing a three-step conversion of Newton meters into inches. And this is the second part. If it does get a little bit complicated, feel free to go back to the video previous to this, which covers it in slightly more foundational kind of information. All right. But anyway, moving on, we're going to be converting from Newton meters into inch pounds. Right. So what ratios are we going to use to do that? So I want to do it in the three steps. Oh, I see what's going on there. So we're going to do that in three steps. First, we want something around newtons. So we know that 1 kg equals 9.81 newtons. However, that only gets us from newtons part of the way to pounds. We also know that, so the rest of that step for that one is that 1 kg also equals 2.205 pounds, right? So that's going to help with that. However, the other part of the equation is that we need to get from meters to inches. And 1 meter equals 39.37 inches. Okay, so we're going to just take that information and put it up in that top right hand corner and use that later when we want it. So what are we going to be converting? We're going to be saying I know the large head bolts of my lawnmower engine requires 40 Newton meters of torque, to be torqued up to 40 Newton meters. All right, so I want to convert that to inch pounds because that's the torque wrench that I have. Okay, and so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to break that down into ratios down here. So we're going to convert the problem into a ratio by saying 40 Newton meters, right? And then we're going to be, so that's our ratio, 40 Newton meters. Apologize for my poor handwriting. That is a 0. So we've got our ratio here, which is our problem, and now we're going to start plugging in some of our ratios here. So let's do meters into inches first. So we've got meters here up on the top, and if we're wanting to cancel out the meters, we want to put the meters on the bottom, and we use this ratio over here. We have 1 meter on the bottom and 39.37 inches on the top. All right, and what that cancels out, and we'll just do the cancelling out as we go. So that cancels. What? Where's my red pen? There we go. That's better. So that cancels out the meters, and now what we'll and leaves us with inches. So we've already gone from meters to inches, but we're still in Newton inches, which is a bit odd. So we're wanting to change it from newtons into something else, and we have newtons, which changes into kgs over here. Okay, so if we're wanting to cancel out the newtons, we put the newtons on the bottom, and we have 9.81 newtons, which can only leave 1 kg to go up on the top here. So which means our newtons cancels out, and we're left with kg inches, which again is still pretty weird. So we want to get to from kgs into pounds, and we can use this here ratio to get from kgs to pounds. And if we have 1 kg and we've got is equal to 2.205 pounds. So again, the kg is on the top, so we want to cancel out the kgs, so we put the kgs on the bottom. And again, we have the 1 down there, and that comes to 2.205 pounds. Okay, so, and that equals our answer, because that there is a, oh, we need those there, I missed out them. All right, because that there is a big calculation, however, it looks a little bit confusing, so we're going to get rid of some of those things that are just plain old irrelevant. I'm just going to move that up there so we've got a bit of space to work. So, let's get rid of things that are relevant. All of the ones are irrelevant, right? So I can cross them out, right? Just working with the numbers to start with. So we can cross those out, which means that we have some things along the top that we need to multiply it by and some things along the bottom that we can divide it by. So you can do in any order you want. You can go 40 times 3.937 times 2.205, or you can go 40 times 39.37 divided by 9.8 times that. Because they're all in the same hierarchy, that is completely fine. So, so it's going to go 40 times 39.37 times, no, that's not right. We're not timesing by that. We're timesing it by 2.205. So that times that times that, divide it by the thing that's on the bottom. Whoa, shaky line. 9.81, and that, what that does is that gives us the answer in numbers. All right. So let's just. Okay, so that answer in maths comes to 353.96 if we're doing it to 2 decimal places. Actually, if it's doing it to 2 decimal places, it's to 97 because we need to round up. Crikey. Right, so now the question comes as to what we put here. What's the unit? All right, so we've used all the numbers, but we've still got kind of these units that we are left with. Now, we did some of those as we went. So we the meters cancels out the meters, the newtons cancels out the newtons, the inches doesn't cancel out with anything, but the kgs cancels out with kgs, and that means that we're left with inches and pounds. So what that means is instead of a question mark there, what we actually have is the only thing that we can have left, which is inch pounds. Okay, and so these kind of calculations can look all scary and big, but ultimately if you break it down and you do them step by step, you end up with the only conceivable answer, as long as you cancel out the things that cancel each other out. Yes, so that is how to do a slightly more complicated unit conversion, converting imperial to metric, or any unit to any other unit for that matter, as long as you have your unit conversion ratios. Okay, cool. I hope that has been helpful. Thank you very much.